here. And you'll be letting people in, Jocelyn, I guess, because we got a few tardy people.
Yeah, I'm letting everybody in and I'll manage the chat.
Oh, thank you so much. I keep an eye on the chat as well, because if anybody's attended, who's been on one of my classes here before? Let me know in the chat. That's the first way we're going to start using the chat. Yes, no, maybe. I don't know who this guy Jeff is. Whatever it is you want to respond, please respond accordingly. Jocelyn's been to 10. But that is not your profile image there, Jocelyn.
It's Justin. You know, we're like one and the same these days.
Ah, got it. You're
some
cloned.
Days Justin, some days you get me.
Yeah. How about everybody else? Nobody else? Esther, Betty, Nasdi, Sherry, Melita, first timers with my class? Let's see.
Yes.
Ooh, look at that. Somebody unmuted. All right. And by the way, everybody, I'm waiting for you to use the chat to say yes or no, because this is how we drive interaction. This isn't passively sit back. The next question I'm going to ask is, how many years have you been in real estate? All right, there we go. Nasty, Sherry, you guys have found the chat. Good. Sherry's on it. 9 years in real estate. Awesome. Nasty, how many years for you? Jocelyn, how many years for you? Nasty got your license this year. Congratulations. Fantastic year to enter the business.
I mean, not in real estate, but in title, which, I mean, it's one and the same, going on 3 years.
Nice. Thank you. Sherry. Oh, Sherry. Wonder if she's had that done before. Sherry, how many years? We got Sherry, Ferry, Melita. I'm just going to hang out and call everybody's name until somebody, right? Till everybody responds. That's okay. We can play that game, folks. Right? This is an interactive class. You already heard somebody unmute. There might be more people who unmute. You get rewarded for participation. There's Fair. So Ferry's outside. What are you doing outside? It's too hot. Go inside. Seek shelter. Betty, 26. Betty, the winner, wins the day. All right. Rather than belabor this point, there we go. Vivian, maybe there's a lot of people on mobile, like having a hard time finding the chat. Okay. I asked this question because the strategy I'm about to share with you works well when you have a past client database, when you have a list of people who you know they are homeowners and that you can reach out and communicate to them. So who here has a past client database and or a sphere of influence, also known as SOI? Sphere of influence, past client database. Or can you work with a title company who can pull some farming data for you? Sherry moved 10 hours away. Sherry, what are you doing? Where'd you move? Where'd you move? Podunk, Nevada? Arizona? Utah? All right, good for you. I'm just teasing with you guys. Okay, great. Let's get into today's content. How's that for enough? That's called buying time, by the way, on live air. You ever seen that? They do this and they're just like, buy time, right? Because we got to wait for the commercials or people to get in. All right, enough of that. This will stop other people's screen sharing. Yes, I want to stop other people's screen sharing. That would be yours. So I am going to share this. We're going to talk about how one simple video strategy generated 11 million in listings in just 90 days. And how you can too, if you're willing to do the 4-letter word called, does anyone know? What is that 4-letter word? Begins with W and ends in K? I think I heard somebody say it. Work. That's right. Work. All right. Let me break this down for you. At the end of today, I want to make sure you make a note for yourself. If we could mute everybody's line, please, that'd be wonderful. I want you to make a note for yourself. By the way, this is why we use the chat, so we don't have random interruptions. If you do want to speak, please use the chat, raise your hand or let us know, or put your comments in, and I will request to have you unmuted. But the strategy I'm going to share with you in just a moment, it comes from Jimmy Burgess, who you can follow on YouTube, which I suggest you do. Jimmy is a fantastic real estate professional, many years in the business, and now trains coaches, real estate agents under his Berkshire Hathaway brand. But if you're looking for a wealth of ideas, this is where I got this idea from Jimmy. I actually interviewed Jimmy a couple of times on my podcast, Mortgage Marketing Radio. I've been in this business since 2003, and I'm pleased to be here on behalf of EOG and Jocelyn and gang to share this idea with you, which is what we call the $11 million CMA strategy. This is different than your probably normal CMAs. And by the way, has anybody heard of Jimmy? Now that I've referenced him, heard of Jimmy, seen Jimmy, subscribed to his YouTube channel yet? Please let me know in the chat. This will be the first gift you get from today. Okay. I'm going to break down what this is. Okay. We're going to talk about part one is the strategy. I mentioned database marketing, right? So I'm going to break down this idea of what Jimmy did, this what we call $11 million CMA strategy. We're going to show you this idea and walk you through step by step how he did it and how you can do the same. Okay.
9 out of 10 buyers here that have a cat. Yes, ma'am.
Let's make sure everybody's muted automatically upon entry, please. So here's what Jimmy did. He has a database. I mentioned a moment ago, sphere of influence. If you need to work with your title company to get some data, that's another strategy as well. But obviously the low-hanging fruit is a database, friends, family, open houses, past leads who've told them they might sell their house in the next 2 years. And he chose to send one video per day using BombBomb. Is anyone familiar with BombBomb? Please type yes or no in the chat. It is not required. There are other options, which I will talk about. But Jimmy used BombBomb to create video emails and send his database, as described above, an unsolicited CMA. By the way, I'm waiting for your response on BombBomb. Does anyone have it? Know of it? Do you have it? Yes or no? You have to edit this long, awkward pause out, Jocelyn. The first time people come with me, they don't realize that, no, okay, this guy's seriously waiting for us to respond. Yeah, I am. I want to have a conversation, not give a presentation. Thank you, Betty. Get that chat ready, folks. So we got Betty so far who's responded. No, she does not have BombBomb. Okay. Sherry, no. Thank you very much, Sherry. I appreciate that. So he sent an email, a video email. I will talk about your other alternatives to BombBomb in a few moments. But the subject line in the email was 123 Main Street valuation update. Remember, this is a unsolicited CMA, and it is not a full-blown CMA, which you'll see in a moment. And the email subject line is the homeowner's address, valuation update. Strategy part two, which you'll see in a few moments as well, is using Google Earth. So that when somebody opened the email from Jimmy, they saw an animated GIF image in the body of the email, which when you send video email to somebody using something like BombBomb, Loom, Zoom, whatever, and you've inserted that video into the email, YouTube as well. I don't know if you've seen this before. If we were to take a YouTube video and we would, take that video and share it via email, right? Or a BombBomb video or whatever, there is an option for embedding the email or sharing the link where it has an animated GIF in the body of your email. Have you guys ever opened an email and seen an animated image in your email? If you have, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Dancing person, party, right? Whatever, all that stuff. Here's the other part of the strategy. Jimmy had an active MLS report open on his screen, ready to show the active pending solds for the seller's area. How many people here have access to the MLS? Let's see if you can respond a little more quickly with that question. Do you have access to the MLS? Yes or no? There we go. There we go. You guys are quicker on the draw now. Thank you so much. Yes, you do. Can you create an estimated seller net sheet? A very simple seller net sheet that does not include the mortgage payoff. There we go. Sherry, Vivian, thank you. You can do an estimated seller net sheet that shows roughly what their house could sell for, right? And you could show in that net sheet related costs, fees, commissions, not including the mortgage payoff. Could you work that up for somebody relatively easily? What say you, pray tell? Estimated seller net sheet. I will wait. Can you do that? See, guys, because, I mean, ideas are a dime a dozen. Implementation is the key. This idea, when you see it, you can do it, right? But it is going to take you assembling different tools and resources. So Nasdi does not have the ability to do a seller net sheet, but her husband does. He will show you. Nasdi, are you a licensed real estate agent? As you answer that, I will keep going. I'm going to show you a video. Okay, Betty, there we go. So guys, make sure your audio is on because I'm going to play for you this video, which is about a minute long. And this is a video of Jimmy. And what this is, remember I told you about that Jimmy sending video email using something like BombBomb. And it had an animated GIF, which is the first few frames of that video that shows up in the email, right? And so when people see that animated GIF in your email, they want to click on it, especially if it's this, which happens to be an aerial view of that person's neighborhood. And so I want you to watch and listen to this video because it's the script Jimmy records for these videos and sending them to his database, which I described a moment ago. So let's play it. Are you hearing the audio? All right. So let me stop and reshare because I have to select the audio button on Zoom to share sound. There we go. We will start over from that video clip. My apologies. Let's start again. Back this up. There we go.
I want to show you basically the couple of things that I tied into. I used Google Earth on this. The reason I like Google Earth is if I'll start this, you'll kind of see it begins to rotate. There's this 2D portion here. You'll see when I click the 2D portion, it flattens out on top of it, makes it look super high tech. The other tab that I had pulled up was the tab for the sales and the comparable active pending solds for the condo that I was doing. This example was a past client of mine in Adagio. So this will give you an idea of Adagio condos. I'm going to just let this play so you can kind of see this, and I'll stop it to talk about it as we go through. Hey, Karen, it's Jimmy Burgess with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services down at the beach. Just want to check in with you guys. So notice how this is kind of moving and rotating right here. I'm just reaching out to them. This is the condos. You'll see how I show them the condos, and then I push the flatten out button with the 2D. Just push this 2D button, now 3D button. So I'm showing them. It gives me the ability to really show them visually what we're looking at. They can also see me, which gives that connection there. And then I'm going to just fast forward a little bit to show you kind of what I go to next. The next thing that I go to is that I pull up the comparables. And now I'm just going to walk through. You don't have to remember the comparables. I'm just going to go through and talk about the sales prices, the averages of what things are, give a range of value, and then at the end what I do, and I just kind of go through these, at the end then what I do is I just simply say, I hope this is valuable to you, and I want to make sure that you know that I'm here if I can ever help in any way. If you guys are thinking about possibly selling, let me know and I'll be glad to get you a more distinct value just by doing a quick walkthrough of your place. I did 72 of these. These are folks that I had talked to, that I had built a relationship with. Also, this is my building pipeline going forward with people because I then put them on the calendar to do another one of these in 6 months.
Okay. I'm going to pause. And I want to gather some comments and feedback. By the way, you guys will get a copy of the slides and video. So usually what I find is most people want to go back and watch that video again. They want to take it slowly. So that's your second gift already from your partner sponsors here today. But let me unpack. Does it make sense what he did there? Right? And I'm going to unpack this a little bit further step by step, but I just want to first of all talk about the video. And I want you to put yourself in the position of a homeowner who knows you at some level. You have their property address and you've just recorded a video that says, "Hey, what's up, Jocelyn? This is Jeff at ABC Realty. Hope you guys are well. It's been a minute. Not sure if you're keeping tabs on the market, but I just decided to put together this property valuation for you. Here I am hovering over your house with Google Earth. And then I bounce to the next tab, which has my comps pulled up, the MLS with pendings and solds. And I'm showing on the video a range of pendings, actives, and solds, and saying, not sure if you've considered how selling, but here's a rough range of what your house might be able to sell for. By the way, next tab, here's an estimated net sheet of what you could potentially net off the sale of your home, sales price, fees and commissions. By the way, Jocelyn, this doesn't include, the payoff of your mortgage because I don't have that information. But, if you wanted a further full-blown property evaluation and settlement sheet for you, let me know. Happy to do one up for you. Take care. Let me continue as I see your comments come in the chat. Okay, so here's what Jimmy did. Over 92 days, over 72 days, Jimmy did 90 of these. During that process, he listed 11 million of property. He's in Florida, higher value area. Looked like the average sales price was around 700,000 or so. In that time frame, Jimmy sold 9 million. Let's do some rough math on commissions. 2.5%, that's 227 GCI, right? Divided by 72 CMAs, that means he earned $3,152 per CMA he created. Took him 30 minutes to do every CMA roughly. Times 72, that's 36 total hours. Divided by commissions of 227 equals an hourly rate of $6,300 per hour for the time he invested in that. How are you using your time? As I opened up with at the beginning, are you willing to do the work? 5 things required. Number 1, people, get your list together. This is your homework assignment. If you're at all intrigued by this idea, I told you you're going to get the slides in the video so you can revisit this. If somebody wants to do a one-off consulting call with me, let Jocelyn know. I'm happy to regroup on that, but you must have the appropriate pieces in place, which I'm going to walk you through right now. You must have some type of a past client database, leads, sphere of influence, farm contacts, etc. People who know you and you know their address. You must have access to the MLS, which everybody here should have. You must have a screen recorder. We are on Zoom right now. Zoom has a built-in screen recorder. Does everyone here know how to use Zoom? Post-COVID, I think the answer is yes. If you don't know how to use Zoom, can you learn? Other options are Loom, Canva. I know some of you peeps love Canva. Screen recorder on Canva. You could use BombBomb if you want. Don't need to. Zoom has up to 25 videos for free. 5 minutes each video, 25 videos. Loom. Zoom has a free option as well. So why am I showing you this list? To remove any excuses. You also need to use Google Earth. By the way, that is free. So far, this list right here, there's not a single cost for anything, unless you call paying for access to your MLS, whatever. Okay. And you need email, which everybody has. Key point before I show you Google Earth in a moment, you're not selling. If you notice Jimmy's script, the style, the tone, it was very informational, checking in, not sure if you've been keeping tabs on the market. You just simply want them to think of you, and you're adding value. Now, let's talk about how to use Google Earth. It's very simple. It's cool. It's free. What you do is you go to Google and you type in Google Earth. I know. And then when you get to Google Earth, in the top left, you're going to see this little hourglass or a magnifying glass. What you do is you enter an address in there, your address, your friends or family's address, and it will start to do something magnificent. It will start to take its magical satellite camera and hover over the area, neighborhood, property. On the very bottom right of your screen, see my mouse? It is hitting the plus icon, which is taking me closer and closer to the home. I'm hitting the 2D icon, which is spinning it like you saw Jimmy do on the video. And when you're recording your screen, you're showing this. And you're using something of a similar script, your own style, just saying, hey, what's up, Jocelyn? This is Jeff at ABC Realty. As you can see, I'm using Google Earth to check out your neighborhood because I wanted to connect with you about, like, if you've ever considered about selling your house in this market, here's roughly what your house could sell for. So here I am, obviously over your neighborhood, the Paseo Vistas, etc. Right? You only show that for a few seconds, right? It's not to like geek out and go, oh, who's in the backyard in their swimsuit? Okay. It's just simply to create a connection of curiosity with people, because when they see that, they're like, wait a minute, that's my neighborhood. That's my house. That's my whatever. And it literally is 5 seconds. You do a little interactivity with the plus minus sign on there, so it grabs their attention. Now, who likes this idea? Thank you, Sherry. If you don't like the idea, you're welcome to say, I don't like it. But my question for you is, if you do have the items required for this, such as a past client database, sphere of influence, some type of a list of people that know you and you have their property address, how else are you reaching out to them in a unique way that generates value? Tell me, how else are you doing it? And by the way, now is when you can unmute your mics when you have questions. So you know how to unmute your mic. Just go to your desktop thing down the bottom, the Zoom, there's a tray where your little microphone icon is. You can unmute. If you're on mobile, that's a different story. But I will take some questions. And remember, you will receive the materials. Yeah. If there's no questions, we're going to let everybody go.
Is everyone good? Nobody has any questions? We have time.
Okay. Well, I will send you the link, Jocelyn, to this stuff a little bit later so you can socialize it and share it with people. This will be posted to the YouTube channel tomorrow. People can go watch the replay if they want, right?
Correct, yes.
But I would encourage you to do what I have done with other agents around Las Vegas, is start with somebody who it doesn't matter at all. Meaning start with a friend, a family member. Do one of these full, right, exercises like Jimmy has done with the Google Earth video, with your MLS tab, with your estimated net sheet, without the mortgage in it. Do a dry run. Do 2 or 3 dry runs. Get a little bit better, get a little more comfortable using the tools, and then pick a few people in your database to send it to. Because I have worked with agents here in Vegas whose names you might recognize who have done this and have gotten, at a minimum, listing appointments. Because what is the goal of this? Last question for anybody. The goal of sending this to somebody is to generate a what? Fill in the blank.
A deal?
Before a deal comes, must we have what? We must have,
A relationship? No?
right? A relationship of some level, but ultimately we want to have a conversation.
That was my next answer.
I know. You got the cheat sheet. Guys, the name of the game of this business is conversations. So whatever means by which you can have conversations, the people who have the more conversations win. And you should have a goal of conversations per week. How do you generate those conversations? Especially now in this market. This is about timing, showing up at the right time. Because guess what? Out of your past client database leads, SOI, there is a percentage of people that are thinking about selling. Question is, are they thinking of you? So that's it. Thank you, Jocelyn, for the opportunity.
Of course.
See you in a little bit.
Yeah, well, thank you guys all so much for joining. This class will be posted on the EOG YouTube channel tomorrow. But yes, if there's no more questions, I appreciate you guys' time and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you, Jeff.
Bye.
Bye.